Imagine being able to troubleshoot your digital habits with the efficiency of a SpaceX engineer, thrusting distraction away and boosting your focus so you can spend more of your finite time shaping the future you want. All of this with full and rapid reusability. My name's Martin Petrera and I help people stop doom scrolling without missing out on what matters, and in this video I'll share how you can leverage SpaceX's approach to innovating with technology that's never been done before to upgrade your digital habits. You guessed it, we're talking about the algorithm, a set of simple yet powerful steps originally meant to tackle very hard engineering and design problems, but that if applied successfully can help you let go of damaging complexity that's holding you back and avoid rapid unscheduled doom scrolling. So these are the steps. Step 1. Making the requirements less dumb. As SpaceX innovates, their knowledge of problems improves, but old requirements, if not revised, can remain. This can cause teams to work through outdated constraints set in place years ago by people who don't even work for the company anymore, hindering the speed and the quality of innovation. This is why at SpaceX they encourage people to question requirements by seeking the person who created them and asking them if they still apply. As your life moves forward, your interests change, relationships evolve, but your old digital environment, if not revised, can remain. This can cause you to face distracting elements in your digital spaces that your previous self once thought useful, but that today no longer are. For example, maybe you fall into the trap of watching Instagram stories of people you're no longer in contact with and forgot to mute, only to then ruminate on a painful comparison roller coaster that hijacks your mind and emotions way after the fact. So remember, make the requirements less dumb. Step 2. Deleting the part, process or step. In SpaceX, they found that the most common problem a smart engineer makes is optimizing a problem that shouldn't exist in the first place. Let's take the previous example. Upon closer inspection, maybe the most effective solution wasn't muting certain people, but rather not watching stories at all, or especially in the last hours of the day when you're tired and your impulse control is way lower. Deleting, deleting, deleting.
If you're not adding things back in 10% of the time, you're clearly not deleting enough.
From here, you run steps 1 and 2 as many times as possible, and then you move to step 3. Optimizing or simplifying. According to Kiko Donchev, VP of Launch at SpaceX, a common misconception in engineering is that the more complex something is, the better and more reliable it is. But in reality, he says, often the simplest is not only the best and the most reliable, but also easier to repeat. For example, have you tried to rearrange the apps on your phone to make them harder to reach, use grayscale, use focus mode, only to realize that a more simpler solution like not even having the apps on your phone was the most effective? Only checking social media on your desktop computer could be a good starting point, because, tying it back to step 2, doing this can delete opportunities to scroll mindlessly simply due to the fact that carrying a computer around with you at all times is simply less comfortable and therefore less likely to happen.
Oftentimes the most simple thing is the best design and the most reliable. Complexity, we like to say, is the devil, and oftentimes leads to a much less reliable product, let alone something that you can make many, many times.
4. Accelerating. You can always go faster than you think you can, they say at SpaceX. This one is very straightforward. Let me give you a quick example. If you're excited about an upcoming event of your favorite tech company and like most of us you didn't get a ticket, instead of watching it live on YouTube, you can schedule to watch it not live, so you can choose a more appropriate time according to your schedule, skip or accelerate the parts that don't interest you if there are any, and avoid being present if the live event itself faces technical issues or other disruptions, like when launches get postponed. 5. Automating. Making a process run with minimal human intervention. An example of this is SpaceX's autonomous drone ship, an unmanned vessel that maintains its position by itself. The reason that this step is lost is because automating something that's more complex than necessary decreases speed in the long term. Picture this. Imagine building an automated habit tracker that aggregates your screen time and how many times you open certain apps, and then identifies patterns in real time and reports them in natural language using GPT, when in reality you could have gotten a far better result for your investment in time and energy just by using accountability and physical distance. And there you have it, the algorithm. Powerful steps you can use to solve bottlenecks in your digital life and make progress in your most important missions. While general principles are great, they can only get you so far. Customizing your approach according to your personal needs and preferences, and then iterating, testing, like I've been doing for many years now, can allow you to go really deep and tackle those nasty habits that are eroding your well-being. For example, if you really need a certain distracting app for work and switching careers is not an option, that's an example of a constraint that should not be deleted. So what do? Or if you really want to stay in touch with certain people and you only have their Instagram, then maybe going fully offline might not do the trick for you. What then? If you like my personal help in building a more human, less rigid way to stop doom scrolling without missing out on what matters, you can check out the first link in the description for more info on how. Thanks for watching. I wish you all the best, and I'll see you next time.